Crosby, McDavid, Pastrnak, Draisaitl, Kucherov. Whoever it might be, you've probably heard of them here on YouTube. And that's why today, here on Red Cape Sports, I'm going over my top 5 NHL plays for players you probably haven't even heard of. Hello and welcome everyone back to yet another episode of Red Cape Sports. My name is Bert Bouchard and today I am so excited because I am doing a top 5 NHL Young Gun pickup, but of course there is a budget being $50 or under, but the reality is for the most part you can actually find all these cards for 25 USD or lower. And the reason why I'm doing that is because far so often I keep seeing videos and hearing the same names mentioned. That's, like I said in the intro, McDavid, Pastrnak, Matthews, even guys such as Braden Point, Sebastian Aho, and that's why I wanted to kind of venture out and to give you all other options of other hockey players who are extremely investable. So rather than just logging on to NHL.com/stats, seeing who are some of the better performing players and just buying their cards, which arguably speaking, since we've seen the NHL boom, are actually overpriced, rather than going out and buying those cards, you might want to at least consider buying the picks that I mentioned in today's video. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I saying go out and buy these. All I'm saying is at least consider them. So with that being said, I did my absolute best to mention players in this video who, at least through my own research, through watching videos, through listening to other people speak about hockey here on YouTube, these are going to be players that pretty well have not been spoken about, including myself, hopefully. Of course, there are going to be a few who I have mentioned, but they made the list just because they're extremely undervalued. Coming in at number 5, I bet most people have already written this guy off or don't even know who he is, and that is Dylan Strome. Dylan Strome? Who the hell's that guy? Well, don't worry guys, I'm going to tell you. Dylan Strome, the reason why I like him, aside from his Young Gun card just being $8 US, I love Dylan Strome. I mean, this is a guy who was drafted to 3rd overall, completely lit up the OHL with the Erie Otters. He was a teammate of Connor McDavid. Once Connor McDavid left, a lot of people thought, hey, can this kid do it on his own? Well, he then matched that with 75 points in around 35 games. This guy's a stud. Now, unfortunately, being drafted to the Arizona Coyotes didn't necessarily benefit him in his NHL career, but we're focusing on this season right now in 2021, and he is currently listed as the top line centerman for the Chicago Blackhawks. And I'm well aware the Blackhawks said that they are rebuilding, but I mean, you got Patty Kane on one side, and you got his OHL, one of his best friend teammates, and Alex DeBrincat, who I personally believe will also have a rebound year. Needless to say, top line center, only $8. He's playing with his best friend and arguably speaking one of the better overall players in Patty Kane. Dylan Strome is extremely undervalued right now. There's no reason why this card can't hit $25, $30 even by the end of the season. And for those reasons and many more, that is why Dylan Strome is pickup number 5. Coming in at pick number 4, this is a guy who most people who drastically follow the NHL will know who he is. Arguably speaking, if you're Canadian and if you watch the World Juniors, you'll know who he is. If you live in Columbus, you'll know who he is. And that is PierreLuc Dubois. Now, PierreLuc Dubois recently actually asked to be traded out of Columbus, which is rather weird because last season in the playoffs, he and the Columbus Blue Jackets actually they did rather well. Obviously, they knocked off the beloved Toronto Maple Leafs, and PierreLuc Dubois was a major part of that. But in recent news, the infamous John Tortorella said, hey, to hell with you. If you want to be traded, we'll do everything we can to get rid of you because we only want people who want to play in Columbus to be playing for the Blue Jackets. So, that tells me eventually PierreLuc Dubois is going to be shipped out of a rather small market, and right now you can pick up his Young Gun card for right around $25 US. Honestly, I already believe that that is extremely undervalued. And of course, playing in a smaller market, that is undervalued. But if he gets shipped out, and there are a ton of rumors that it's either going to be a bigger market or at least a better team, better chance to hoist the Stanley Cup in a team such as Carolina. There's talks about the Montreal Canadiens picking him up, and if that happens, for those of you who are currently unaware, Canadian teams have kind of formed their own divisions, so the Canadian markets are going to be watching because Canadian markets are just going to be playing Canadian markets. If he gets traded to, let's say, a team such as the Habs, he'll be playing the Leafs a lot, he'll be playing the Sens a lot, and those are a lot of eyeballs on him. So for that reason and many more, even if actually he does stay in Columbus, I feel like he's the type of competitor who will still turn up, put up the great points, kind of like a James Harden situation, but then eventually be traded out. So for that reason and many more, that is why PierreLuc Dubois is pickup number 4. Okay guys, I get it. At the start of the video, I'm well aware I did mention that the players being in this video, top 5 NHL pickups under $50, would mainly be players that you've probably never heard of. Now, this is a guy who you've probably heard of, just from my knowledge, many YouTubers haven't spoken of him yet. So that is arguably speaking why he's going to make this video, and he's extremely undervalued right now. So basically, if you guys have seen the NHL playoffs last year, Miro Heiskanen absolutely lit it up. This is a young defenseman who was literally 8% away from winning the Calder. Probably should have even won the Calder, but regardless, he was absolutely fantastic. And I get it, he's a young defenseman, but when you look at his two-way ability, meaning his ability to join the rush, kind of turn into a baby Bobby Orr, put up goals, put up numbers. Guys, we're starting to see this right now. So right around $22 to $25 American, you can pick up his raw ungraded young gun. But when you compare it to the likes of Quinn Hughes, to the likes of Cale Makar, and all these offensive mind defensemen that we're starting to see gather a lot of respect in the hobby, these cards are going $65, $75, $80. I believe at the high we even saw them hit $100. So what I'm saying is, if you compare him to the likes of other defensemen who put up points, Miro Heiskanen is extremely undervalued. And I get it, currently the Dallas Stars are not playing hockey due to a COVID protocol, but it's not going to last forever. Miro Heiskanen is extremely undervalued right now. I understand he's a defenseman, but if you understand hockey, and if you understand the way that the market is going, you too will realize that Miro Heiskanen is a phenomenal pickup. Coming in at number 2, this is yet another guy who, if you follow hockey, I pray to God you know who he is, but again, for the sake of this video, many YouTubers and many people in the media do not like to speak about Mikko Rantanen. And whether that be because he, arguably speaking, has one of the best, if not the best players on his team right now in Nathan MacKinnon, well, it doesn't really matter, because Mikko Rantanen, you can pick up his raw, ungraded young gun, under $30 US all day, especially on websites such as ComC. And Mikko Rantanen, when I look at him, this is a guy who's consistently able to find the net and rack up the points. He's basically, he's really nearing that point per game player, and why I like him so much, aside from the fact that he's so cheap, aside from the fact that he's point per game player, he's got a realistic chance at eventually hoisting the cup. He's extremely young. He's playing on, arguably speaking, one of, if not the top lines in the NHL. So for that reason, I personally believe Mikko Rantanen is a phenomenal pickup right now. Just by nature, playing with Nathan MacKinnon and even Burakovsky, who's starting to really light the lamp a lot. Guys, I'm telling you, Mikko Rantanen is an excellent pickup. Again, not telling you to go out and pick him up, but, you know, definitely do the research, maybe consider it. Coming in at number 1, I'm well aware most people, especially in Canada, especially in Winnipeg, will know the name of Kyle Connor. Actually, most people who just follow hockey will know who Kyle Connor is, but as I alluded to earlier on, there are some players in this video who you should just be investing in, period, because they're extremely undervalued. Check out Kyle Connor's stats, and this is a guy who consistently finds the back of the net and who consistently is getting better and better and better. And I personally believe the Great White North in the Winnipeg Jets are not going to be, you know, a laughingstock of the league for much longer. And even if they are, as I alluded to previously, The Winnipeg Jets are now in an all-Canadian division, so although they do play in the West Coast time zone, I believe that when they play teams such as the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Montreal Canadiens, the Sens, whoever it might be, specifically in the East Coast, you're going to gather a lot of eyeballs, and when he has big performances while the nation of Canada is watching, guys, that is a good sign. Right now you can pick up his raw ungraded Young Guns under $25 all day, every day. Again, if you guys have been rocking with this channel, if you guys have been following the podcast with Mike Stefano, we have mentioned several times that this card, arguably speaking, should probably be already even doubled up to $50. So for that reason, many more. This is a guy who's just going to score goals. He's consistently going to be at the top of the points, especially for goals category. So, you know, do yourself a favor, look into him. I'm not saying pick him up, but what I am saying is I have no idea why this card already isn't $45, $50-ish. So again, if you are looking for a good bang for your buck, Kyle Connor is my #1 investment. And there you have it, guys. Those are my top 5 NHL Young Gun investments under $50. Again, I'm well aware you can pick them up for all around $30 or less American, that is. So again, that is my top 5. I hoped to have mentioned players who maybe you haven't heard of. Definitely check them out before you go out and buy them though, of course. And remember, only invest money that you can afford to lose. So guys, with that being said, if you've made it this far in the video, please help us out by smashing the like button, hitting subscribe if you already haven't done so. It really does help us out with YouTube's algorithm. And before you guys go, let me know down below in the comments whether I got these picks right, if there's anyone I missed out on. Who are you investing in? I always love reading these comments. So until next time, guys, take care.